Since I've got this little bit of free time, I'm just going to show off what I've been doing in Minecraft. This is the first house I made. It's kind of my foundry workshop now, and yes, I really do need all these forges. The last run through a cave just north of here, I ended up filling all of them quite easily. And found a lot of resources. These, iron, all of it. I found most of that right there in the last run alone, so it's got lots of resources and I'm quite happy with it. There's a lot of surface level caves I've found, so I'm not quite done exploring all of them either, and I'm going to be running out of places to put things. Where some of my food's going, I don't quite remember why I stuffed that there, but it's there. General storage for things, my farms. Large, but I'm probably going to expand it quite significantly as soon as I can manage to find some carrots, because I'm not lucky with drops so far. And that is my big house. Normally I ended up building lots of castles and fortifications. This is really the first attempt of me actually building a house to live in instead of defend. Little study or cozy area, fireplace, item holder with a rose. Appropriate for the, guy sticking his hand in a fire next to a fireplace. A little study area off here. I was building this, I'm planning on lining all the walls with bookcases, and then suddenly the recipe for books changed, and I've not really been able to manufacture them as quickly as I have before. Wools and dyes, more bricks. I do plan on making a brick house at some point in the future, but I don't really have enough to make something I like. I thought this was a little cute room. Oops, I didn't intend on doing that. Yeah, 3 guesses what this is. Water. I thought it was funny. Kitchen off here. All the finished food, more or less. I've got plenty of excess right now, and the raw food over here. 2 little ovens where I grow mushrooms. I don't think I've got any going right now. Nope. I need to stop that. Quit. There. Hey. There we are. I kind of have to keep that sealed up because it's dark and I know a zombie will spawn in there sooner or later. Dining room. Not the best chairs. I'll eventually go back and fix it with something that looks a little bit nicer. First floor and onto the second. Just a big room where I build things. My little music set. Let me go turn it on. I leave it on for a short while and then I get tired of hearing the same repetitive tones over and again, then I just break the circuit. There we are. There we go. Now we have music. Just displaying things. Generic holding place, wood, smooth stone blocks. I've got some more in the other house as well, so I'll probably combine them eventually and move the redstone over here. Sleeping rooms. Get a view out to the world. I was experimenting different patterns and I still don't like this, but I'll probably fix it up eventually. My room essentially, nice big, have a clock, general stuff. I think I just get tired of hauling around stuff there for no reason. Village I'll take out to a second. The most complicated extensive structure I've ever made, out to the attic. Let's see if the world's rendering properly this time. It doesn't seem to like fraps a whole lot. There we go. Not the most organized, pretty village, but I'm getting it there. Go over here, see if the world's still rendering. It is. Normally I just end up building these great big ugly fortifications and towers, and this is the first time I'm actually trying to get something livable. Not entirely successful, but I'm much better than in the past. Now, showing the map in just a second, I've got it basically all filled in, but the first village I found was kind of off to the northeast. It's essentially in a desert area. Oh, my chocolate farm there. They grow really fast, a lot faster than I was expecting. I don't even know what to do with those chocolate beans now. I've got like almost 100. There's a fair number now. I built 1 iron golem, and I believe 2 more spawned. See if I can find number 2. I know where number 3 is. They just kind of run around. Fortunately, I've gotten some good training with them, so I've got about 8 emeralds now, 2 enchanted pickaxes, and a great big stack of pork chops. It's working out. Yeah, some of these buildings only exist for me to put a door on them, because villagers spawn is determined by the doors, and you generally have about a third of 3 doors per 1 villager, so they've stopped growing at the moment, and I think there's about 10 of them. Got 1 iron golem there, and the other here. Why is he down here? Because there's a dungeon just on the other side of that. I forgot building this place that there was one there because I'd more or less sealed it off, and they just keep going back to it. Oh, we have the villagers trying to spawn now. I don't think this is working for you. Oh well, love is over. Again, lots of surface caverns, and the dungeon is more or less right here. It's a skeleton one, so I could break it and get him to go away from it. I don't want to because it's nice for farming bones and arrows. Yeah, you got... Oh, god damn. There's 2 idiots there. So I have 4 now. I'll have to figure out how to push them back out. As much as I hate doing it, I may have to break the dungeon, and I don't want to do it. It's my little village here. Garbage dump. Lava. Any structure like that, lava. My enchanting area. Again, I was going to fill it all with books, and suddenly the recipe changed, and, well, haven't really been successful with it since. Garden tools, very boring. Once upon a time, villagers could get into places they were not supposed to, and they would die horribly. So I put up a little cutesy lock on this thing. You'll never guess. There we are. And it is, of course, my portal to hell. Let's go to hell. There's unfortunately nothing interesting in there, because I have not been able to find the Nether Fortress at all. This is basically a big outcropping over a lava sea in all directions. I've got some glowstone from it. That was some interesting pop-in. Whatever. Basically, this is a giant tower out of the middle of a lava ocean. I'll have to figure out how to get out of here sooner or later, but it's not a priority at the moment. Let's go back to the normal world. I wish I could show off more there, but there just isn't. I haven't spent much time there because there's nothing there. Close this up, just in case one of those idiots gets in there. My little forge area for the anvil. I plan on putting some gardens in this area, I think like a hedge maze. Haven't quite decided. I'm probably going to have to level most of this area. But to show the map, this whole peninsula I was on used to be solid green. I've broken about 10 iron axes and at least 20 stone axes just getting it cleared out, and there's still a huge amount of forest to the south. Now the village, I found this in, and I'm not going to be able to point to it real well, but there's a desert I'm kind of pointing the cursor to, and there's a little gray brick kind of just this above the mountains in there. That's basically where it's at. And I actually have a rail line to it. There's another village as well, which is to the south. I'm more or less pointing to it. It's also that gray brick just by the ice at the edge of the map. And there's another village towards the north that's basically just to the east of that desert in the very corner of the map. Haven't really explored them much because they're very far away and sort of inconvenient to get to. Oh, my farm. Before I go flying off on the rail line, because it's a fair distance and I don't want to run back just to show a couple of animals. I don't have it real organized yet because I got a fair number of animals and they all like wheat. Another cavern. I've mostly explored it. It does not seem to link up to the ones up here, so sort of happy about it, sort of not, but I will link them eventually with a big rail system. Most of the animals are towards the edges for some bizarre reason. I've fenced them in so they don't keep running away. Yeah, another cavern. This is the one I've been exploring. I've pulled out probably about 300 ingots of iron so far. No diamond. My cows, my sheep, most of them are over here. I don't have them organized in any real sense. Ooh, egg. Again, the spawning conditions for pigs have suddenly changed and I need to go find carrots, and I'm not getting lucky with just about any enemy drop. That's more or less what it looks like with a whole bunch more service caverns. There doesn't seem to be any away from this place, but I haven't looked real strongly. I've explored the map, but not in any great detail, so there probably are some more. I haven't really found them. There are other entrances to different... Oh, there's a stupid villager in there as well. How the hell did you get in there? Ugh. I block it off, you run in there anyway. Ow. Well, don't I feel stupid now. Hopefully they get the picture and get out of there. Ugh. I go through all this and they still manage to wander in. I'm not sure how. Ugh. Idiots. I feel for this place for a zombie invasion. I have turned enemies off briefly just to do this because I don't really want to defend while I'm talking. This is the first of my many rail lines. You may have seen one earlier when I was exiting the first mud hut. It doesn't really go anywhere because I didn't find anything interesting to take it to. And away we go, hopefully with no rendering errors. Or animals getting in the way. I've killed most of the cows, but they like to just keep popping back up. And away we go. This is a fair distance. It takes, I think, about 2 to 3 minutes real time to get through. It used to go in a slightly different direction, more off that way because I was trying to deposit villagers straight into the village. Now I don't really need to since I've already got my village up and running. Probably see some dogs, and please no rendering errors. I don't want to fall off the edge of the world. If there are rendering errors, there'll be suddenly a giant cut and say, "Here I am in the village." I do have a good selection of biomes. I'm quite happy with that. I know people have gotten stuck with, like, you got, snow or just desert, and that's it. Ha 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 ha. I've been lucky in finding temples. I've got the jungle temple and at least 3 desert ones. Stupid cow, stay away. I will straighten this up sooner or later, but not now. Not a priority. I have to figure out what my next major project is, because I've got almost 100 blocks of iron, and, well, I could build a house as a vanity project, but I don't want to. I'm not sure why I had that swivel in there. I think maybe just to conserve dirt, because I was running out. Stay awake. Run. Haha. Stupid chicken. What's that? Oh, thought it was a pig for a second running at the rail line. Nope. Almost there. Jungle here. I believe there are cats in there, and eventually go through there with some fish and tame a couple. What the hell did you get over here? Stupid animals. Most of the way here. This bit used to be fun because it'd suddenly blink out every time I hit a corner, and I wasn't sure why, so I expanded the corners, and there it goes, that blink. At least it's not as pronounced. Here we are. You can kind of see it there. That is the desert temple. Now, the first time I came here, I thought this was a structure that just spawned with the village, and I thought, oh, that's the church or something. Then I just kind of ignored it for a while. Then I was exploring another one thinking, oh, here's a village, and I go unpop the blue tile, fall in, ooh, treasure chest, boom. The hell? Yeah, found out the hard way. This is the other village. Yeah, it didn't set in right, so I had to kind of fill in doors so that the villagers could actually run inside and I wouldn't have to play keep away all night. Another mud hut I've been building over here. Been expanding it a little bit, principally because it wasn't filling my needs anymore, because it's a little cramped here. I have some resources here, pretty much as in any case I'd ever need to run here in case I'm overrun on the other place and then come back. Again, not as organized as it's just kind of a temporary thing. My plans for the future are just getting up to that ocean up there. I seem to be just landlocked everywhere. Normally I can get to an ocean pretty quickly. But this time, haven't been able to. I am eventually trying and go south somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be any time soon. Maybe to get to that other village. I'm just looking at all those trees and dreading it. So, that's what I've been doing in Minecraft so far. I hope you found it at least enjoyable, or if you have any questions or would like to see me build something, feel free to ask. So, this will probably be the last video I upload all year. I think it's been a while for me, videos in general. Ooh, he's not around. I don't want anything. Something clicked. Not important. Egg. So, hope you enjoyed the brief little video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, or would like me to see me build something, go ahead. So, until next time, bye.